All right, good morning, everyone, wherever you're watching from. Uh, I want to quickly do a top-down analysis on gold USD. Now, from the weekly time frame, you, you can see the weekly candles, and the market has been bullish from the um, 18th of August. That's about 4 weeks from now. 4 weeks from now it has been bullish, following the bullish trend. So the bias on our weekly time frame is actually bullish. Now if we also come down to the daily time frame, you can see from here as well that the market has been on a bullish trend, and the bias is also bullish. For days, the market has been on bullish from this day here, right? That's 20th of August down to this moment, this 4th of September, and coming down to our 4 hours time frame, it gets much more clearer whenever you do a top-down analysis from an higher time frame to a lower time frame. Now from the 4 hours time frame, you can see from here this is a break of market structure, and whenever there is a break of market structure, let me just bring up all right, so whenever there is a break of market structure, as you can see from here, you can see that 3,548 has a break of market structure to the upside. And whenever there is a break of market structure, are you able to see something like this? This is the bullish order block, right? And it is very likely that it is very likely that the bullish order block is going to be respected. Now, you can see from this area, this point, you can see from this point, that is where we have the rejection block. So if the market comes down to this area of interest, that point of rejection block, then the market is going to continue its bullish run up. But there is something that is in between. From here, this area, down to this place, there is a very large fair value gap. So it is very possible that there is going to be a rejection from this area, and then the market is going to continue its bullish trend. So those are the possibilities that can happen even upon this market on 4 hours time frame. Now if we come down to the 15 minutes time frame, which will actually help us to see the market more clearly, and we allow us to enter the trade very quick and just take out our profits. This is very good for day traders. We have swing traders who only target daily swings and all. We have weekly traders. Those are long-term trading strategies that you can use, but I'm more of a daily trader anyway. So you can see from here, this point, that's where we have the bullish order block. Now the bullish order block is being respected here, as you can see from this swing here. You can see that swing, that is a swing. Okay, maybe I can make use of uh this train line so you can be able to see what I'm talking about. So now you can see from this area, right? From this beg your pardon. Okay. Oh, excuse me, please. Now this is the swing, picking it at the bullish order block, and the market is going to continue its trend. As you can see, it continued that trend, and it has been bullish all this way, all this while rather. But we can actually look out for an opportunity to enter into this trade. Now if the market comes down to this point, that is the rejection block. If it comes back to this area, this is another rejection block in this area. if this market comes down to this point, we can actually try and join the trade. Now you can see that the market is already breaking out, trying to break out this area. Now from this point, it is expected that the market is going to reach the highest top. It is expected that the market is going to reach at least this area. It is expected that the market is going to come to this level. You can see that that is the highest high approached by gold so far. But however, it is still very possible that it comes back from here. You can see the market is presently on 3,541. It can actually come down to this point where I indicated. As it is, there is no fair value gap that has been respected, that can be respected between this area. Now from this point to this point, there is a ranging market. Now anytime there is a ranging market, you should actually expect a long impulsive move. So from this market, as you can see, there is already a break of market structure to the upside here. We are actually expecting a very strong impulsive move that is going to move from, let me indicate, okay, just few minutes. All right, so it is very likely, you can see it is expected that as the market continues its bullish run, it continues, breaks out this highest high here. It breaks out this the the highest high in this place, moves up, and then once it breaks it, it is very likely that it now comes down to this area. So it can come down, come back to this area. That's where we have 3,529, and then it now continues its own buy, and then the buy will continue from there and try to initiate the, okay. So it's now possible that the buy will now continue from here and then push up, and that's going to be a massive profit. Now gold has a very high volatility. It moves, it moves a lot. So from here, it's something like a reduction is happening here presently, but we don't know, maybe it's going to hold. But if it holds, we can actually enter this trade and sell. In this kind of market, you can actually put your stop loss in this area. That's 3,547, but that's a whole lot if you do not have a very big capital. You can see that it's trying to come down, but if it comes down, most likely it wants to pick from this area. Now let's check on 5 minutes if there is any fair value gap that can actually be respected. Now you can see from here, this is a fair value gap in this area which can actually be respected. So in times in times to come, we're expecting that the market is going to come down to, from here where it is, right? It's going to sell down to this area, pick it from this fair value gap, and then it begins to move up. It begins to move up, and if you actually enter this trade from this area, sorry, okay, now if you enter into this trade from this area between 3,535, at least it helps to actually limit your risk. You can set your stop loss in this area like 20 pips below, and then enter from this area, and it's going to, you can take your profit on this high. That is going to give you up to like 60 pips profit. So that's what we are expecting presently if it actually holds. Now if this point is not holding, this is another fair value gap that can be respected. It actually therefore means that the market can continue its downward movement, and then um it now comes down to this particular fair value gap. You can see that it's actually on its bearish move in a way. Let's take out this okay, you can see that it's actually on its bearish move, so it can continue and enter into this other fair value gap. If this point is not holding, it can come down to this area here, okay, where we have the fair value gap, and then you now continue to push up from there. That is going to be lots of pips again. That is a great a good opportunity. You can see it can now move from this point down to this point. That's a whole lot of pips already. Now it is also possible that once it reaches this rejection block that I showed you the other time, it is also possible that the market is going to come down to that area of rejection block, that is from here to this place, okay, and then it now continues to buy. If you enter into this, that is going to give you up to, that's a whole lot of pips, over 100 pips already, over 100 pips, over 100 pips, 530 to 590 to 540. That's 100 pips already, over 100 pips from this market. So I wish you a safe trade here. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm setting my own risk. I'm setting my own risk now. I want to check my risk reward from here. Let's check on the long position. So if the market comes to this place, I would like to enter and then take out my profit from this highest high, then put my stop loss in this area. That's like 20 pips down. Yeah, this is okay. And if I take my profits in this area, that's already, now what's the risk reward ratio? That's 1 ratio 3.3. That's roughly 1 ratio 3, which is actually not bad. It's actually not bad. So uh if it actually works, that is going to be a really big win. So I can actually share this setup if it actually works. You can enter into this trade whenever it comes to 3,535. Put your stop loss on 3,533 and then begin to buy. I wish you a trade, I mean, safe trading. Thank you very much for this. I hope to have some other times with you as we do analysis on different currencies, metals, some also trading indices. We can do some analysis on that. So, thank you very much.